Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, February 2nd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarification points. Number one, the price you see over here will be changing, and the candlestick right there will be changing, moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late-day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, BGXX, monster mover here, and in doing so has formed a good solid pattern. And as I draw this pattern, let's change that. I'm not implying that this is some sort of great discovery on my part. I'm not implying that this is a special talent. I assure you a lot of other people have seen this pattern. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So we have our area of resistance right there. Then we have this area of support down there. So let me change that to green to represent more so a bullish dynamic. And then maybe make this easiest to see. Let's make this all the same color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the huge explosion right there. For you golfers out there, let me put the golf hole down here, and this would be a bull pennant pattern. So while guarantees do not exist, is it plausible, is it valid to think that if the price can head up here and break up through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible outcome. So if you like to play stocks down below $5, you like bull pennants, here you go. Next one, CVNA, and just the monster move continues. I've been tracking this one past couple of days. Yesterday, I talked about how the price was flirting around with this red line there, but the big question mark going into today was, could the price get some continuation? Certainly worth watching, and for the people that were watching, I would definitely consider this continuation. So for those of you that were monitoring it, congratulations. I'm assuming you did quite well on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines now as they serve their purpose and as other updates need to be made. So the newest update is just going to be what I would consider the newest level of support, which I would classify as that trend line right there. And this is just based on the foundation that when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. So if the price does pull back, then down here right around the $12 mark, give or take, going to be an interesting potential level of support. As far as levels of resistance are concerned, got to squeeze things down here quite a bit because as you're seeing here, it has been, there we go, very, very long time since the price has been up this high. I get it. The chart's hard to see, but that just illustrates just how long it's been since the price has been up around this area of the chart, with the next key area of resistance being right up there around, give or take, that $16 mark. And with the amount of momentum it has right now, I don't think anybody would necessarily be shocked if $16 is getting tested tomorrow. Again, I'm not saying that will happen. I'm just commenting on the fact of just the sheer amount of momentum right now. We'll see if that happens or not. But if this thing does want to pull back, then again, $12 would be a key level to watch. Next, MGAM, and we have ourselves another continued move here. From yesterday was when things woke up, and then today the price really came back to life. Now, really the only people that this chart is looking bad for is if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you were buying up around there during that opening 30 minutes, and your plan was to buy and sell within 5 minutes. From that angle, yeah, things are looking rough. But assuming you care about the big picture point of view, then everything is great. Price put in higher highs, price put in lower lows, and from a trend building perspective, that's what it's all about. So a couple updates. Let me get that out of here. The first key update is just based on that rule. As I stated, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So now moving forward, if there are any sorts of pullbacks, then this $2.85 mark becomes an interesting potential level of support. And then as far as levels of resistance, again, we'll call these dynamics, these self-fulfilling prophecies, but you got to think that a lot of people have drawn that same exact trend line. So like I said, does that guarantee anything? No, but does it make it plausible if the price can come up to that trend line and get a break up through it, that break could create additional buying pressure? That's certainly a plausible conclusion to come to. So overall, though, the uptrend continues, so we'll see how things continue to play out. Next one, EBET, and there's no doubt about it, this one's looking pretty ugly here. And for you longer time viewers, you know what I'll say next, but there can be opportunity in the ugly. And that is where this area down here becomes very, very interesting for a couple reasons. It serves as a gap close location at 97 cents. And then along with that, you also have that purple line down there around the general area, which is the very famous 50-period moving average. Now, as I've said, and as I will probably say another dozen times, are there guarantees? No, but is it plausible? Is it valid to think that the price could come down here, get even more ugly, and then find some support, and then get some sort of worthwhile bounce in the upwards direction? Absolutely. And assuming you're a disciplined trader that's going to honor stop losses, then even if you get a modest bounce, then compared to what was being risked, your upside reward could, like I said, really shape a very favorable risk versus reward scenario. So if you like to play these scenarios where things are definitely looking pretty ugly, but there could be some very logical bounce points, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, AMC, absolutely huge move today, but a classic example of charts. So, and I didn't script this out, but it just happened to work out this way. So what have we been talking about? Well, levels of resistance are broken. So going into today, that red line was an area of resistance, but when they're broken, they tend to act as support. And you can see that during the opening 30 minutes, that level was broken, and then the price came all the way back down here. But look right where that hammer candle formed right at that former resistance. So classic example of a breakout, pullback, back testing the level, and then just absolute explosion back in the upwards direction. So for any of you that maybe missed the breakout, but then played the pullback of the back test, really well done to you. You've made a great trade. But with that being said, these lines have all served their purpose, so I'm going to get rid of them as we now need to focus on, well, first off, the newest level of support going to be right here at this other breakout point, right there at $5.60. And then as far as the next key level of resistance, going to be right up there at $5.90. Going back through the history of things, you can see that this $5.90 area did present some problems. Doesn't mean that the price can't break through it, but it does make it valid to think that, yeah, there's probably going to be some potential sellers up around $5.90. But overall, any way you look at it, very, very impressive movement. Real quick, wanted to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen up to this point, you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency, to manage risk as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link in the description box. If you're watching at my site, then there's an area right there on the webpage. So go get clicked up, go get signed up, then come back and finish the rest of this video. Next one here, SNAP Snapchat. Hopefully I can recover after that absolutely butchered little persuasion to try to get you to sign up for that. But Snapchat, after the earnings, absolutely brutal. But to give credit where credit's due, the price did a fantastic job of holding up above that pink line there, which on my chart represents the very famous 200 period moving average. So needless to say, moving forward, 1003, which is the value of the moving average right now, is going to be that main area of support, which, like I said, and now that I just actually noticed something else. So let me squeeze this down so you can actually see it. And it's looking like maybe this is even a more accurate level. Let's see. The lows from that pullback right there. Yeah, so even 990. If you're looking for a more specific level, or if anything really, we'll call this a support zone. So the top of the zone is that 50 or 200 period moving average. Bottom of the zone is that level which you can see provided support back there. So I'll turn that into a quick plug. Try to redeem myself. Classic example. Are charts perfect? No, but do they have a place? Absolutely. And you can see this playing out perfectly here in the real world of trading. So keep an eye on those levels from a resistance standpoint. In terms of levels, from a support standpoint, in terms of levels of resistance, key level to watch, going to be right up there, right around $10.45. Even if that's broken, then from an overarching standpoint, definitely going to need to keep an eye on that purple line up there, the 50-period moving average, currently valued at 1080. But all things considered, at least that 200-period moving average area was able to hold as support. Next, PTON, and quite the monster move on this one. Although with this last 30-minute candle here that's starting to form, does suggest that there very well could be a pullback on Thursday, which brings the question, okay, well, where are some potential pullback points where it could find some buyers? And in my mind, that very interesting support area down there at the $15 mark. So if you do like to play pullbacks, and yeah, $15 is an interesting level to keep an eye on. If it does not pull back or just continues to try to battle upwards, as far as next levels of resistance are concerned, as was the case without, I can't remember which one. Was that CVNA? One of them. Oh, wow. Wow, so much. So we're going to have to go to the daily time frame. So we're now looking at the traditional of each one of these candlesticks represents 1 day's worth of time. But yeah, we're having us go back so far in its chart's history that there we go. So right there, 1725, or excuse me. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. 1750, excuse me, going to be the next key level, which is coming from all the way back there in late April of 2022. So basically getting close to almost a year ago, the last time the price was up around this area. But yeah, look at that volume bar today. Absolutely massive volume bar compared to, the history of things. So, and as I talk, the volume continues to pour in. But yeah, we'll see if this momentum continues over the next couple of days. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And I mean, really, all you need to know is in regards to these two levels of resistance, which I talked about, meaning not only was one of them broken today, but both of them were broken. And when two levels of resistance are broken in the same day, not a whole lot more needs to be said in terms of just overall strength. So just from a clutter perspective and not wanting to create confusion because there is lines everywhere, let's try to keep this as clean as possible. So the first dynamic, and this will mean a bit more of those of you that have watched past videos, but hopefully you can remember me talking about that 50-period moving average. You can see right there, price bounce, and then I'm checking out. Again, another plug. Get signed up for the class, but right there, bounce from it. And then this afternoon, right there, bounce off from it. So point being that the price really continues to respect that 50-period moving average, current value of it 173.35 in terms of next battlegrounds to watch moving forward. Again, I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of that level, but we got to squeeze things down. I don't think I'll have to change time frames now. So next key overarching level now as far as resistance levels, as again, still going quite a bit ways back, but next key overarching level right up there at $190. So next overarching level of resistance. But overall, I state the obvious when I say this, very, very impressive uptrend as it continues with these higher highs and higher lows. And on that same note of higher highs and higher lows, we have SOFI here. And to offer up a bit of perspective, squeeze this down, and you can see that, yeah, this thing has continued to just grind higher and higher, and today was no exception. In fact, very, very explosive this afternoon when the price got the breakout, which brings about the first key level of support, former breakout area, former area of resistance right there at $7.10. So once again, for you breakout players, keep an eye on 710 as the level to keep an eye on if there is any sort of pullback. As far as resistance levels, once again, which has been the theme. All right, looking like we have a, what was that, Peloton? Let's change to the daily time frame. Good problem to have. There we go. So the next key level of resistance now going to be right up there at the $8 mark. So $8 next key level to watch moving forward. But yeah, no doubt about it. Massive volume, very impressive price movement. And it'll be interesting to see if the price can take it up to that $8 mark. And if so, how does the price behave at that area? Next, TQQQ, which measures the NASDAQ and goes along with the NASDAQ, meaning that if the NASDAQ market as a whole rises, this one will also rise. Difference being it just allows you access at a much lower price point, which makes it very popular. So unless you're not aware, the Fed had its announcement today. Apparently the markets liked what they saw, including the NASDAQ. So therefore, this one absolutely boomed during the afternoon. So again, the volume surge was all because of the Fed stuff. But overall, updates certainly need to be made. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level. Adjust this level of resistance, because not only did it break that level of resistance, it also broke through that level up there at $23.80, which, as I've said and done, you now know that this level of resistance will now be considered a level of support moving forward. So in any sort of pullback, keep an eye at $23.80. And then in terms of next battlegrounds, once again, good problem to have as we head back. Oh, wow, it even broke through those highs. I did not realize it was... Are we going to have to change to the daily? Nope, not quite. Almost. Almost, but not quite. So next key level to watch now moving forward. Right up there at, let me double check. What is this? This is about 25.50-ish, give or take a little bit. Next key overarching level of resistance. So as I zoom in, you can see that's where that line is coming from. So bring it down and get a little bit more. There we go. Level there. But all in all, anyway, look at it. Monster movement, monster uptrend. The markets continue to love what they're seeing. They continue to trend upwards. And you don't want to fight the trend. So let's see how this continues to play out. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for the free live training. If you have not yet, it'll be very soon, Thursday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, please do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. When you communicate with me, when you hit that like button, it tells me that you enjoy. And as long as I know that you as viewers and subscribers are enjoying, then I will continue to put in the required time and effort to get this content out to you. So again, hit that like button, leave a comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things, like I said, really help out the channel and do a lot in communicating to me. So get signed up for that free training. Hit the like button, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.